Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Caffeine Cars with Swan Father and Big Josh. Let's go crack these bad boys open. Cheers.
Always.
All right, so what are we going to be talking about today, Josh?
So today's topic is going to be new cars. Last time we did this on used cars. A lot of things to expect with used cars. Today we just kind of want to open on everybody's eyes to really what's going on in the world of new cars.
The world of new cars is insane right now. It's absolutely insane.
And just kind of what you're going to see, what you're going to expect, both in the dealership, with pricing, with just everything down the line. So one of the things I want to start out with is leases. Leasing is a great way to get into a new vehicle. It keeps your payment lower. And I guess here at Preferred Ford, we have a very large percentage of the vehicles that we work with are leases.
Yep.
Swan, what are you seeing? What is Ford doing with leases and current lessees? What is Ford doing to help out in both those situations?
Well, what they're doing right now, so if your lease is coming due and you don't have a car to buy here, we don't have any inventory because it is very limited right now. If you put in an order for your new car that you're going to lease, what Ford will do is give you an extension on your current lease until your new car arrives. So you just keep the same monthly payment. You keep right on with the same program that you've already been in until your new car arrives. Which also brings the point that it's never a bad time to get your new car ordered. With things that can hold it up right now, part shortages and whatnot. The sooner you can order it and get it here, getting out of your lease early isn't a problem at all. I've helped tons of people get out of their leases 6 months early, and just roll right into the next one. So it's never a bad time to get your order placed.
And that brings up a good point too, that you can order a vehicle, and even though the vehicle is an ordered unit, you can still lease it out when it gets here.
Right.
People all the time order the next vehicle they want to lease. That's completely okay, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that way you can kind of build it exactly what you want, rather than taking the risk of, do I have to settle for this one that doesn't quite have all the equipment that I want? Maybe it doesn't have heated seats, but it's here today. It's kind of a two-way street. You can either settle for what's here, and maybe we do have the exact right one. That's not totally out of the realm of possibility, but the odds of it are slim. So it's not a bad idea to build exactly what you want, especially if you have some time or know you can extend your lease to give yourself some time to get exactly what you're looking for.
And so that works with basically every model in the Ford lineup, which is really nice. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is lead times on these ordered units. Ford, along with a lot of the manufacturers now, are really pushing for special ordered units, just because when you order a unit, when you order a vehicle, it goes to the front of the line versus a retail unit that we're going to just put out on the lot. So that helps get you the vehicle that you want sooner, number one. And number two, again, to what Swan said, it gets you the vehicle.
Swan Father.
I apologize. No offense.
It's all right. It's okay. Don't do it again.
We'll see. And when you order your vehicle, it gets you exactly what you want. Now, that being said, you have things like Super Duties, Broncos, Mavericks. Those vehicles are taking
at least 6 months. At least 6 months, depending on the equipment. More realistically, a year.
Yeah, and with Super Duties in specific, I would say minimum 9 months to a year. The Super Duties are just really, really difficult to come by right now. But almost everything else, we're seeing things that are coming in 3 months. Typical order lead times.
Well, I think the other thing, great. Josh, is people have to be realistic now that since COVID came and the pandemic and part shortages, and this is kind of the new world we're living in, and I know a lot of people, myself included, would like to see it where we have 200 new cars on the lot at all times, and get back to that point. But the reality is, from a manufacturing standpoint, it just doesn't make sense. If you can get the general public used to the ordering system, and that be the new normal, why would you have all these cars on the lot that you then at the end of the year have to give all these rebates and cut all these crazy deals and whatnot? And it's great for the consumer. It's great for us as salespeople working at the dealership to have the inventory to just be able to walk someone around and say, okay, which color do you want? Rather than, well, I have 3, these are the options. Do you like, would any of these work for you? And so, I mean, just the sooner that, I think it'll reach a point where we have, 50 cars on the lot, maybe 50 to 60, a couple of different of each model. But I don't personally see it going back to a point where it's going to be 150, 200 new cars on the lot. It doesn't make sense from a manufacturing standpoint to have to give them away at the end of the year.
Right. And then to the same point, Ford is also, if you order a vehicle right now, Ford is giving you additional rebates now for the vehicle that you're ordering. So instead of trying to dump them all on a couple vehicles at the end of the year, they're spreading them out on the vehicles that you're ordering now throughout the year. So just a better play for everyone in the long term.
And you actually raise a really good point. So another awesome thing that Ford's doing with ordering is if you order a specific model of vehicle, whatever the rebates are for that month, when you put in your order, those rebates are locked in for you. Now, say it takes 7 months to get there, or 3 months, or 1 month, or whatever it is. Then you look at the rebates for that month, and you get the better of the 2 sets of rebates, which is kind of an awesome to have that option. So you're never like, well, I ordered it when there was $5,000 in rebates, and now there's only $3,000. So now I missed out on $2,000. You get whatever the better of the 2 is, which is something cool.
They're never going to go backwards, only forwards.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Exactly.
So now that being said, one thing that Preferred Ford is doing different than a lot of other Ford dealerships, different than a whole lot of GM, whatever dealerships, it doesn't matter. Preferred Ford in Grand Haven, when we order you
1401 South Beacon, 616-842-0600.
The only 2 people who work here are Swan Father and Big Josh.
The only 2 employees.
And when you order a vehicle, most dealerships require a minimum $1,000 deposit or 10% down payment, something like that, in order to spec out and order your vehicle. Here at Preferred Ford, we're not going to do that because if you're looking at some off-the-wall kind of, $100,000 vehicle, that's a different story. But if you're looking at just a Lariat F-150 or something along those lines, then absolutely not, because we know that we're going to sell it once it comes in. So you're not tied to anything. Your only commitment is to the order itself, not to actually purchase the vehicle when it comes in. So if it comes in and there's something about it you don't like, or your financial situation has changed, you're able to back out. That's not even a question. So
that's nice. That's really nice.
And so,
because I think that's a scary thing for a lot of people is, what if I put my name on this order? Then, if I lose my job or I get a job opportunity somewhere else and I'm moving out of state or whatever, am I going to be somehow legally obligated to take this vehicle? And that's a scary thought.
Not here. I mean, and technically not anywhere. But your only commitment is to the order itself, not to anything else. You're not signing on the dotted line or anything like that. When it gets here, you have first rights to the vehicle. If anything has changed and you don't want it, we just need a little thing written out that we can send to Ford and explain why you don't want it. And we know we're going to sell that vehicle. And by the time it gets here and you've already said, yes, I want it, or no, I don't, we're going to have a whole list of people that are in line for that vehicle.
Yep.
So that's just cool. I mean, I don't know why a lot of other dealerships aren't doing it, but us here at Preferred Ford, that's the way we're doing business.
1401 South Beacon Boulevard, Grand Haven, Michigan, 616-842-0600. Me and Big Josh, Swan Father, Big Josh, the only 2 that work here.
That's a fact. You got anything else you want to add?
I think it's important to get ahead of this stuff. I mean, to be prepared. If you're even considering getting a new vehicle, get your order in. If you're thinking, well, we're going to in the next 6 months to a year, but we're not quite there yet, put the order in. I mean, it's not gonna hurt you anything. There's gonna be no money out of your pocket. It's only going to help you be prepared when you are ready to upgrade. Make sure that there's a vehicle here that that you want, and just have everything set up. That's really the best advice I can give today.
And again, the worst thing that's going to happen to you by putting in an order with us here is that we're going to need a little note or something that we can send off to Ford saying why you don't want the car. So, I mean, heck, it can be on a Post-it note, something. You know what I mean? It doesn't have. There's nothing tattooed on anything. So, yeah, I think that's about it.
Awesome. Well, this is the Swan Father, Big Josh. Caffeine and Cars signing off on segment 2. We'll see you next time.